Welcome to Anime Out of Context, a comedy review show hosted by a basement dweller who grew up scrounging terrible fan subs on sketchy websites prior to the convenience of modern streaming, alongside a willfully ignorant soul whose only knowledge of anime comes from the shows forced upon him here. This show will contain spoilers, incorrect information, and copious amounts of adult language. Our hosts are not experts on any topic, and everything they say should be taken with a grain of salt. Thank you for listening, and enjoy.
Hello and welcome to Anime Out of Context, the show where I attempt to explain the sometimes weird, sometimes wonderful, but always hilarious world of anime.
And I get lost in Nermal's beady little eyes.
I'm Shaun Rollins.
I'm Remington Chase.
Alright, Remington. Got a very important question for you.
I have an equally important answer.
How do you feel about tennis?
I'm gonna be honest, Shaun. Brutally so. I don't really care for it.
No? Why not?
Never been, I feel like visually it isn't terribly interesting. Because I have not ever immersed myself into it, I don't care about, like, the main players or... I have no affiliation. I can't appreciate, like, the technique or strategies, right? I'm too far away to care about the details, and I think it's too bland on the surface for me to get closer.
Well, I mean, it's a intense sport between 2 to 4 people, smacking balls over a net at each other. What's not to like?
Shaun, I'm concerned that with this line of questioning, you're about to show me not only a sports anime, but a sports anime about tennis.
What?
Which, I'd be lying if I said that I was in any way excited for that.
Ooh, so you're saying I hit a grounder on this one, huh? Wait, that's a baseball term. Fuck. What are tennis terms? See, I researched the anime, but I didn't exactly research the sport.
Look at us sports guys.
We know how to watch a ball go.
One thing you can say about Shaun Rollins and Remington Chase, they know sports.
Keep an eye out for Sports Out of Context, the show where myself and Remington attempt to elaborately do a play-by-play for popular sports games and try to, hopefully, make it seem like we know what we're talking about.
Like, Shaun vaguely knows some esports, and I generally know some, like, pro wrestling? That's it. That's the list. Like, that's...
Hey, Rem, to be fair, I have learned a lot about sports from anime.
It's all from anime. Yeah, it's all from anime.
It's all from anime. And I'll be real with you, Rem. When I watch a sports anime, it's rarely because I like the sport. It's usually there's something else involved.
Alright, so, long story short, sports are trash, but let's see if anime can make them better, like they notoriously do for me, right?
I will say that what I have for you today is not like a straightforward sports anime.
Shaun, you are presenting me with raw Brussels sprouts, and you're like, oh, don't worry, we were actually putting some moist sand all over it. And I'm like, I don't think that's gonna make any of this experience better. I think you've got a bad direction. I think it'll be grainy and crunchy and taste bad for all reasons.
Well, what I'm trying to say, Rem, is it's not your typical, oh my god, I'm gonna be the very best sportsman ever type of anime. The anime we're gonna be talking about today is simply called Baby Steps.
Okay.
And as you might have cleverly surmised, it is about tennis in a lot of ways. And the...
For a moment, I thought...
Well, you thought I was gonna be... And as you surmised, it's about baseball.
I thought you were gonna be like, baby steps, and as you probably cleverly surmised, it's about babies. I thought we were gonna get a sports anime about babies playing tennis.
Oh my god.
Which, I'll be honest, I was like, I don't know, that's weird, but it has like a better chance than the default.
Oh god. Well, okay. No babies are involved unless you consider the main character taking the baby steps of learning how to play tennis to be that case. The premise of this show is pretty straightforward, Rem. It's about our main character, Eiichiro Maruo. He is, well, I'll be real with you, Rem. He's a bit of a nerd. He is...
Alright, and what sort of hijinks does little Shaun Rollins get himself into?
Okay, listen here. Listen here, bucko. Just because there's a nerdy character does not automatically mean you have to put me in his shoes.
I think it's a good starting point. It's usually pretty reliable.
Oh god, I hope it's not reliable in this case. About Eiichiro, he is a diligent and methodical honor student who spends literally 90% of his time writing down notes and studying for exams and such, and doesn't really have many extra.
What I'm hoping you're gonna tell me is that this is basically Mob Psycho 100, but just the sports guys, and that's like the story.
I would
like
love
teaching
that.
Mob. Yeah, like it's just
That'd
that
be
side
great.
of Mob Psycho 100, where a bunch of wholesome swole jocks teach an unfit boy how to be fit and love himself.
Man, Mob Psycho Season 3 just finished airing, and I hear it's amazing. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, though, because I'm doing research for this show. I will. It's my favorite anime, one of my favorite anime of all time, and I will watch it, and I'm gonna love it. I know it, but it's like, gah. Anyways, unfortunately, it's not quite that straightforward. Eiichiro is just kind of having a bit of a rough go of it, because, like, he is, focusing so much on his studies and school and note-taking to the point where it's kind of causing his health to take a bit of a dip. So, after stumbling across a flyer for a tennis club, he thinks to himself, hey, maybe I'll try this out, and maybe it'll help give me the stamina so I can focus more on my studies without killing myself.
Solid.
Yeah, but as he comes to this tennis club, he meets a girl by the name of Takasaki Natsu. And she loves tennis. Tennis is like her whole thing. And him seeing her be as invested and involved in tennis makes him kind of want to try the tennis thing a bit more seriously himself. And he goes through the process of learning tennis and learning how to play and seeing if it's the kind of thing that he can truly enjoy, whereas studying is just mostly like what he does rather than what he enjoys.
I'll admit I'm disappointed.
Look, man, I don't have much for you. I just thought...
I wanted it to be about a bunch of wholesome bro dudes, or alternatively, just a bunch of babies.
I mean, there's
one or the other.
There's one wholesome bro dude. Granted, I can't remember if he shows up in the first 5 episodes, but hey, that's just the way.
Also, first 5? You making me watch 5 episodes of what sounds like the most basic sports anime in the world?
It's not the most basic sports anime in the world, my guy.
I don't know. It kind of sounds like
most basic sports anime in the world have a main character who is insanely powerful or good at one specific aspect of a sport, and they use that.
This just chopped 2 cliches in half and soldered them together clumsily. Am I not entering this as unbiased as a reviewer should?
No, like this might be the most unbiased you've ever, like the most biased I would say you've entered a show into. Because, like, all I've done is describe, hey, it's about a dude who's trying to figure out some stuff for himself, and tennis might be the way to do it. And you're just like, so it's a bunch of bullshit. I see. There's nothing redeeming here. Let's just skip watching it and get to the review, because I can tell you everything that happens.
You know what? Fair enough, Shaun. New year, new me. I'll be more optimistic. I will...
Yeah, because who knows, Rem? Maybe this will have something a little different from other sports anime we've seen that might, give you a positive view and positive twist on things. And I probably only going to show you the first 4 episodes.
Fuck the 5th episode.
I mean, the 5th episode is where, like, his first match happens, but, like, we'll see if the build-up to that is more than enough for you. And if it's not, and the die-hard fans of Baby Steps come after me, well, then so be it. So I suppose without further ado, let's just dive straight into it. Let's go watch some Baby Steps.
I don't know who cares less about the random friend, me or the show itself.
This anime is not an ordinary or cliche sports anime.
But it is.
We are back after watching 4 whole episodes of 2014's tennis anime Baby Steps. Now, Remington, is this anime a step in the right direction for sports anime, or did your pure, raw, unfiltered hatred of tennis just really drag the whole experience down for you?
So, Shaun,
Yes?
I have to appreciate what you did here, you know? It's a new year. We're all testing ourselves. And you decided almost to sort of a meta-narrative attachment to Baby Steps to test my own willpower and determination here. Whereas the main character, he's getting tested and he has to focus to get better and better. I was getting tested and I had to focus to stay awake. So, you know, we're all going through our different trials, our different tribulations.
So something tells me, Rem, that people were wrong about what you thought this anime would be like.
It's pretty boring, Shaun.
Ooh, man, that's unfortunate. Especially because we got a handful of emails being like, hey, Rem didn't like these sports anime, so maybe this is the one for him.
I think I understand, because I'm going to be saying a surprising amount of good things about this show, while at the same time not liking it. And I think the good things that I list, there's a good chance that has overlap with what they thought would make me like it. It's just that it wasn't enough. So yeah, let's jump right in. First of all, the show's kind of ugly, ain't it?
I mean, look, you can only expect so much from Studio Pierrot. I mean, they are the ones that did, Naruto.
When was the show released?
2014.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
By that time, things should be looking good. This is borderline original Fruits Basket.
Holy shit!
Like, it has moments where it's stepping in to that vein of like, this is not pleasant, but I suppose if it was like a really early anime, it'd be acceptable. In 2014, yeah, no excuse.
Ooh.
It should not be as ugly as it is.
The studio behind this is the studio that made Naruto, Tokyo Ghoul, you know.
Do they have a good one?
Jesus, dude. Fucking brutal. You didn't really have that many harsh things to say about Naruto, of all things, but like, my god.
Did we cover Naruto?
We did, Rem! We did! We did like a year and a half ago, Rem.
Holy shit.
Like, in the grand scheme of things, it was pretty fucking recent. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah, they also did Black Clover, though, so, you know, you win some, you lose some.
It seems like they lose a lot.
They kind of do lose a lot. And you enjoyed Tokyo Ghoul.
Did I?
For the most part.
What was Tokyo Ghoul? Am I thinking of a different one? They all sound the same.
I don't think you can say that, Rem. I don't think you can say that. That's the one with the incredibly edgy one with people eating other people, turning into demons and such, you know. Glowing eyes, eye patches.
Yeah, it's lost on me. I cannot emphasize, my brain is so overfilled with anime bullshit on a weekly basis. I cannot keep all of it straight. Shaun, you sent me an image, and I ain't never seen these people in my goddamn life.
Yes, you have! Oh my Christ!
Oh, God. I really need to emphasize, I think I remember, like, 10 anime from the podcast at a given time. There's 10 that I remember, there's 20 that are 20 more that are vaguely somewhere, like I can get bits and pieces, and then the other 200 plus, they are lost, they are nowhere, they're gone, which is also very fittingly where Baby Steps is going to go. It's gonna be lost so quickly out of my mind because it just has nothing Well, I'm gonna remember one thing about this anime, and I hate that this is that I'm gonna remember this at all.
Oh.
It's the one, I would argue, unique thing about it. Shaun, would you care to guess what the one thing I'm gonna remember about the show is?
Is it that it's the only tennis anime we covered?
No, but I suppose that gives it a decent chance, perhaps. I might remember tennis anime. We covered something like that. No, it's gonna be his goddamn hair, Shaun. Good ol' Ichiro? I'm just gonna call him A.
Ichiro, but yeah.
Yeah, A's hair. It's your standard schoolboy haircut, right? With a very thin half mohawk. A very thin half mohawk towards the front. It doesn't make sense. Once again, just like slap that on top of his neat schoolboy hair. I don't know what they're going for.
Oh, to make him stand out from all the other normal-looking schoolboy type characters.
It's either you can't really notice it, so what's the point? Or you do notice it and it looks stupid as fuck. It's such a baffling decision.
And it's gonna stick with you for the end of time.
Unfortunately. Anyway, we open the show and we see that a boy who we will learn is A, our protagonist. He's playing tennis and he's taking notes and people are super impressed by him. We cut to a classroom. He's asked to solve an equation and he does because he's wicked smart. He has lunch with a friend of his. We meet the resident hot girl who borrows A's notes. His friend encourages him to try new things or some bullshit. He's like, you're so bland. You're so boring. You need something. Get fit. And so A decides he's gonna do some tennis. And it turns out Hot Girl plays tennis. So it's a free trial, right? It's a very prestigious tennis club. After warm-ups, after warm-ups, he passes out. And then in episode 2, he comes back for a proper trial. And during the proper trial, it's the shittiest thing. Because it's like, all right, you actually can't practice on any of the tennis courts. Here's a hallway. Also, I'm gonna leave. So you just have to figure it out yourself, I guess. What the fuck? This is a free trial. Like, the free trial, you gotta be like, hey, here's why you gotta stay in. Like, you gotta give them the best of the best and then be like, all right, now you gotta pay. And then throw them in the hallway. You can't throw them in the hallway on the trial. That's not how you get sales. It's so dumb.
But Rem, doesn't it add drama and intrigue? Don't you feel sympathetic for poor little A?
Not really. Look, I don't give a shit about him. And here's the thing. Does he struggle? Sure. Do I care about any of his struggle? Not really, because neither does he. Like, bad things happen to him, and he's just sort of, shucks. Well, that was unfortunate. Moving on. And it's not played for laughter. It's not really played for sympathy. It's not played for anything. This show doesn't know how to craft an emotional response to anything. I'm trying to think of the most, like, emotionally packed moment in the first 4 episodes, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna look over my notes. I'm gonna come with an actual answer.
Okay. All right. Bring it. Can't wait.
Okay. I think that the most emotionally charged moment of the 4 episodes we saw is when one character gets stoically angry, and you can tell because the veins in their head bulge a little bit. This is my unironic answer. That is what I'm presenting. And no, this isn't like outrage. As the audience, I'm not really feeling the anger. I just see a vein bulge slightly. That's it. Where's the razzmatazz, Shaun?
Well, the razzmatazz is usually in the games, but you didn't want to get that far, so...
This show has no showmanship. So, it's shitty teaching. Hot Girl teaches him a little bit, and he practices with Hot Girl and Hot Girl's friend, who is big, talented, angry boy. And then A keeps practicing tennis in his own time, I guess. Okay, sure. Episode 1. he says, hey, I'm interested in tennis. Episode 2, it's like, I'm a practice tennis. Isn't this fucking riveting? Are you thrilled, listeners? Are you on the edge of your goddamn seat? All right, then, episode 3.
All right, I feel like we're going through this kind of quick. Don't you want to slow down a little bit, get into all the very interesting nitty-gritty details of this series?
There's not interesting nitty-gritty details, Shaun. It's a shitty sports anime. Oh man, oh boy, is he taking notes about what he's doing. He brought a protractor to practice to see the angle of his arm. What the fuck am I? And then the friend keeps showing up as if he matters at all. I don't know who cares less about the random friend, me or the show itself, because the script writers are doing them no favor. Like, they don't even bother giving him like any texture or depth in like his face or his hair or any of that. He's a background character. He's drawn like a background character that they were like, shit, we weren't supposed to give this one lines. What happened? What happened is they created all the characters, right?
Okay. And
then they realized, oh fuck, we haven't designed the best friend character. Just take a background character, bring him up. Bring him up. There we go. Good enough. We're on a deadline. It's so... Oh, God. It also has such a bland depiction of hustle because, as we see in episode 3, and basically all the episodes, it's just him It's, wow, he's doing the same thing a million times. And he's still just doing that thing. The same thing. Which, don't get me wrong, that is an important part of practice, alright? I get that, I understand that. And many shows that have this process do as well. But they zhuzh it up a little bit, you know what I mean? For example, let me give an example from a much better show, okay?
Okay.
Better Call Saul. Better Call Saul, spinoff of Breaking Bad. Delightful show. Delightful show.
Rev, I didn't know that was what you were gonna bring into this episode. Like... I didn't expect a Better Call Saul reference to show up in my bland tennis anime.
In a lot of ways, it is the exact opposite of Baby Steps. In that it's good. But
oh, wow, Jesus.
So Better Call Saul. It's a story about a bit of a smarmy lawyer type guy, right? Who has a decent heart and a whole lot of hustle. And they depict the hustle in Better Call Saul. They do something similar, right? Where it's like you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. Where he has a lot of like public defense hearings and it's the grind, right? You got to get all these clients under your belt, right? But it's just done much more interesting. It's a cool montage. We see bits and pieces of different elements through the montage. We not only see the hustle, we see different elements of certain characters and of Saul himself. And even just like the editing is interestingly done. That's how you can show hustle, even when doing the same exact thing. Not, he's hitting he's hitting some tennis balls at the wall. It's later in the day. He's hitting some tennis balls in the wall. And that's how it's treated as well. Like the show is just like, he's still practicing. Cool. The show doesn't care about what's going on. The show is like, oh no, it's cool. Like, we don't want people to get too excited. God forbid.
Their hearts couldn't handle it.
This show is like the opposite of many sports anime we've seen in the worst way. A lot of sports anime, they'll be like over exaggerated. Some of them will have like shonen powers and nonsense like that, right? And it'll be over dramatic and insane. This Baby Steps is an anime that was like, no, we're not going to have that. And it's like, oh, are you going to focus more on like the character moments and like get really into it? It's like, no, not that either. We're just thinking we're going to do nothing. We're going to remove any possible excitement or intrigue. And then, just show them playing tennis. And it's like, couldn't people like, I don't know, watch tennis instead? And they're like, never thought of that. So, let's see. Sorry, don't worry about episode 3. Fuck episode 3. Just don't. I don't
Just
give a
gonna
shit,
disregard
dude.
it entirely.
I don't care. Episode 4, we've had A challenged by the stoic angry jock boy. The angry jock is really good at serving the ball. He's going to serve 50 times, and if A can return even one of them, he wins. And now I will give a genuine compliment to the show. A, as he's doing the serving, he's experimenting with different things. He's taking notes, trying different things, analyzing the results. It's like a great example of the scientific method, all right? He's hypothesizing, testing, analyzing. It's great. The problem is, I don't give a shit about the scientific method analyzing tennis in depth with characters I don't give a shit about. Like, it's just, I don't want to read a research paper about tennis. That doesn't sound like a fun evening for me. Look, there's some research papers I'll read. I've read way too many of them. Look, I'm not gonna pretend like in my spare time I'm a thrilling fella. I've read more research papers than I care to admit in my free time, but they're not gonna be about tennis. They just ain't. They're just not. That's not what it's gonna. That's not gonna be the topic of choice. Okay.
You hear that, tennis fans? Remington hates you and your sport.
No, I just don't.
He
Wanna
can't
go
stand
in depth
any of you. The
I
fact
don't
that
want to
you
go
like
in
hitting
depth
a
about
ball
the
over a
science
net.
of it. I am. If you want to teach me how to play tennis, then I'll play it. That'll be enjoyable. Watching tennis, fuck that. Then, not just watching tennis, but them dryly talking through tennis, not in an insightful way, not in an enlightening way. No, why? That being said, Shaun, there was one moment in the show that genuinely spoke to me, unironically.
Really?
However, I don't know if I should mention it.
Oh dear.
I don't know if I should bring it up.
Is it gonna get us canceled, Remington?
No, it won't get us canceled. It just feels rather egotistical, Shaun.
Oh, now you have to say it.
All right. The one moment that genuinely spoke to me, it was in episode 4, all right? A enters a tournament, right? And he's going to have his first proper match, first official match, in the tournament. And he's preparing, and he's a little bit anxious and nervous. And so he's talking to the hot girl about his concerns. And the hot girl, who's ranked number 1, she's like, yeah, I get nervous too. And he's like, why? You're number 1. Obviously, you're going to win. And she has this little monologue where she's talking about, like, it's not a guarantee that I'm going to win any given match, right? And further, it heightens the possible embarrassment if I end up losing. When I go in there, anything can happen. I'm talented, sure, but who knows? Which is like almost verbatim some stuff I've talked about, where I've been successful in previous endeavors.
Interesting.
And I have been placed upon a pedestal in some things that I've done. And I've entered some competitions where I've had this exact conversation of people being like, don't pretend, don't be falsely humble, you're obviously gonna win. And I'm like, hey, you can't take that for granted. You can't just assume those things, especially when you're dealing with other very talented individuals, right? It just takes one off day, and then that comes crumbling down a little bit. And so that monologue genuinely spoke to me. But I wish that the show, I don't know, I just wish the show was more interesting. Maybe if I cared about tennis. Cause like, I don't know, if you're super into tennis, maybe this is a good show for you. Otherwise, I don't know who the audience would be. I don't know. It's quite bland, all right?
Well, maybe, Remington, the fact that you didn't get to see, like, their first proper game, maybe that's what you were missing.
I don't think it was.
No? No, you don't want to see...
I don't think that would have made a difference.
No, but that's when all the action happens, Rem. When you get your protagonist fighting their first opponent, and it's an uphill battle, but it turns out it's just a little harder than they anticipated. They might get 1 or 2 good blows in, but then they ultimately lose. Doesn't that sound interesting?
No. Because I've seen it a million times. Like, this show is not going to provide anything that I haven't seen already so many, many, many times. It's not going to do it in a new or interesting way. It is Wonder Bread that has been placed into a toaster that will toast a special little tennis racket design into your toast. And then it's like, isn't that neat? And I'm like, okay. And it's like, that's pretty cool, huh? And I'm like, are you going to do anything else? And it's like, why? It's toast with a tennis racket. I'm like, that's not a meal. It's not a meal. It's not a meal. It's not a treat. It's not a dessert. Just fucking bread. Just Wonder Bread with tennis, and that's not enough for me.
I don't know, Rem. I think you're being a bit harsh. I don't think Wonder Bread really qualifies as bread anyways.
Shaun taking a stand against Big Bread.
No, I'm taking a stand against Wonder Bread specifically because that shit is awful. It is the most disappointing bread a person can ever have.
I'll be honest, Shaun. I don't have strong enough opinions about bread.
Look, man, I've been burned too many times by the Big Wonder Bread. I've been like, oh yeah, I'll take a sandwich, and then it's like, but it's on this weak-ass, flimsy-ass bread that just doesn't do it for anybody. Nah, it's awful. Terrible. Bread needs to have a bit of thickness to it. That's all I'm saying. But we're not here to talk about bread, Rem. Or are we? Have we started a new spin-off podcast already?
I don't know. Sort of seems like what we've been doing this whole time.
Oh, goodness. So, interesting. Well, I'm sure those all the fans of this anime will be very, very upset with you, Rem. But that does bode the question. Any guesses on what the MAL score for this show is?
I'm a little thrown off already.
Yeah? I had a feeling you might be.
I can't imagine there's a lot of strong feelings about this show. I think people vaguely like it, but they don't care about it that much. I don't know. However many weeps play tennis, give that a small bump up. 7.29.
All right.
No, just 7.22. Lower down a little bit.
Well, Remington, with only 71,000 ratings, Baby Steps is sitting nice and pretty at 7.81.
What the fuck?
Would you like to hear some reviews?
Sure. Hit me with a review. I'm fascinated. Maybe I'll see something. I'll learn something that I didn't know.
Well, let's start with this one, Rem. The opening line to this review is, this anime is not an ordinary or cliche sports anime.
But it is. I mean, I guess it's a different flavor of cliche, but it's not doing anything original still.
Let's see.
It's like being like, white chocolate. This isn't what you normally get. And it's like, it's still super common. What are you talking about? It's not exotic.
Well, but technically, Rem, that's not actually chocolate.
You're like, oh, it's not milk chocolate. Sure. But it's everywhere still. It's slightly less common. Okay.
Let's see. To me, one of the most attractive aspects of the story is the method by which the protagonists attain their expertise at the sport.
I guess I agree. Scientific method, thumbs up. Sure. It's just not enough.
And here's one that'll resonate with you, I'm sure. It's one of the best I've ever seen for just one reason. It shows us the reality about tennis.
I can't disagree with that one. Hey, live your fucking tennis dreams.
A lot of these reviews are saying about the same thing, Rem. One said it's interesting, has a good story and outstanding characters.
Outstanding characters? Did we watch the same show? What characters are outstanding?
Maybe.
Shaun, give me the best character of the entire show right now. Tell me. Let me know. The most interesting one.
Let me pull up a list of the characters so I can remember their names. Unfortunately, it's probably Natsu. That's the closest I can get.
I guess I agree.
Yeah, because, that's about it. That's about it. Yeah, no, like, the breakdown of this anime is weird, because they're about 26,000 of the votes put it at an 8, whereas another 17,000 put it at a 7. And then, like, one or two, like, big spikes in the 9 and 10 rankings, and then it just completely drops off after that. Like, not many people thought that this was a bad anime in their regard. Like, there's not a lot of, like, negative reviews. Like, let's see, I've scrolled for a second, I've seen one negative review, And they say that the best thing about the series is Eiichiro and his journey to try and learn this thing. So they
What
didn't
the
like
fuck?
the show.
Why would he talking? Oh man, I can't. I have to say, Shaun, I'm not a fan of Dragon Ball Z, but I do like Goku and his journey. Oh man, I don't like Pokemon, but Ash Ketchum and his journey to catch them all and be the best. What are you talking about? That's the entire fucking show.
Oh, man, you don't know how relevant that reference is. I got some bad news for you, Rem. I didn't want to tell you on the podcast, but I guess since you brought it up, I have to. Ash is going away, bud.
Oh yeah, I heard he died tragically. Got truckooned, unfortunately. Shame they had to do it to him.
Holy shit! If they do send Ash off with him getting fucking blasted by a truck, Pokemon may be the greatest anime ever.
It's how they enter into the spin-off series where it's grimdark, it's fucked up, it's Ash Ketchum, bunch of ghost types, all of the horrific. You know how people have noticed a lot of fucked up Pokemon lore throughout the years?
Oh yeah, 100%.
And like fucked up Pokemon entries, especially when it comes to a lot of ghost Pokemon that are like, what the fuck?
Right.
This Pokemon series would explore all of that with spectral dead Ash Ketchum.
Honestly, I would watch the hell out of that. Probably.
Everybody would.
And you know what I love about this podcast, Remington?
What?
Whenever I show you something that is so blindingly uninteresting and boring, you automatically come up with a million shows that are way better.
Hey, if the show's not gonna make the episode interesting, then it falls on me.
I just thought, it might be a nice change of pace, right? It's been a while since we covered a shonen sports style anime, and this one promises like a realistic growth at a sport. So people thought that you would enjoy that. Apparently, they were incorrect. But I guess there's not much else to say, Remington. Is there any chance you'd like to watch any more Baby Steps? Maybe to find out? I mean, after all, it's a 24-episode season 1, and there's a season 2.
Why? Why is there so much?
Because people got invested in his journey and the potential romance that was unfolding.
This is... let me spoil it. This is one we're not going to watch again. We're not going to do on the podcast again. It's not worth it.
Even if the entirety of our audience clamors for a revisit, the second I say the 2 words in order, Baby Steps, you're going to be like, nah, we're not doing this anymore.
Here, Shaun, if the people want it, then what we're going to do, right, is we're just going to upload a photo of bread. We'll upload a little photo of bread onto the Patreon, I suppose. Put on an audio file of one of us saying bread. There's your entertainment, folks.
You've said that, now they're gonna want that anyways, Rem. It doesn't seem like something anybody would want, but if you promise something stupid, people are gonna want the stupid thing. But at any rate, I suppose that's where we'll call it, because it does sound like my co-host is actively dying.
Hopefully most of these coughs have been edited out, but I am dying right now.
You are actively dying, so let's wrap it up quickly. With that in mind, thank you all so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. If you enjoy Remington absolutely decimating your favorite sport, then please head on over to What the Fuck, Remington?
Hey, keep carrying on. They can't see it.
I know they can't see it, but I can. It just popped up on my screen while I was doing my bit, and it really distracted me because I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. Anyways, if you enjoyed all that, then please leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts, whether that be Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever. We do read every single review, and they mean the world to us. And if that is not enough for you, you can head on over to twitch.tv/anime-out-of-context, where you can watch myself, Remington, and Dylan occasionally play video games exceedingly poorly. And if that is still not enough for you, you can head on over to patreon.com/anime-out-of-context, where you can gain access to all kinds of lovely bonus content, including having the opportunity to be thanked live on the podcast. So, Rem, who are we thanking this week? And let's get through it quickly so you do not die.
Yeah, we'll see. Drunk Quetzalcoatl for Anime Out of Context mascot, says Miska Miska, earnestly expecting praise and reward. Zombie Stomp. Oh, I didn't even, there's Yandere Waifus. Ah, fuck. I'm dying.
They'll understand. They'll understand.
Oh god, it's getting so much worse.
Yep.
Zhao Sheng, Hao Zhong, Wo, Shizai, Wai, Oh, Bing, Chilling. Xanix, y'all just found out I'm having a baby. I need names. Kirito. Yandere
No,
Neko.
don't
Why
do
Shaun,
that.
Why Shaun, Hufo. Which hole do I put my fingers in to turn you into one of those finger traps? Good God. Walk me home
Yes.
gently. Way to Shell. Trenton Farrell. Totally God's angel. Took my shot and I've been rejected. CNH. Thou may ingest a satchel full of Richards. The Susanator. The Big Bean. Thanks to my guardian angel and this podcast, I got a 4.0 this semester. Turban, Tainted Venom, Syrup the Turtle, support group for sexually harassed deities, sub-sexualizing big fat honking jiggly dump truck mommy milkers, Spicitis, a silent secondary, shoujo addict who doesn't need help, just more manga to read and anime to watch, Shaun, punish Rem for shitting on Angel Beats and make him watch Testament of the Sister New Devil, Shaun, read this. Oh, okay, sure. I, Shaun, have a STD thanks to my job as a MILF hunter. Thanks for that PSA, Shaun. You gotta be careful out there.
I didn't realize MILF hunting was an occupation.
Shaun is a MILF lord. Seth Senju. Samantha, daughter of Shaunington, truest arbiter of righteous justice and notorious driver of Truck Coon. I'm just happy she has a job.
Yep.
Salty
More than
Pretzel.
we do.
Hey, Salty Pretzel. Ross Angel Palmer. Rimuru has massive omnipotence DILF vibes for all the goblins. Rhiannon Williams. Rem loves Shaun's dice. Remington needs to watch more SAO. Remington is usually right. Rem beat those angels. Please, please, please review High Score Girl. Paco El Musico, other McNutt Angel for Birds. On the count of 3, release the holy hand grenades. Oh no, Shaun forgot to submit the Patreon name, so I'm not a White Swords Angel. Expect Fiery Hell in the P.O. Box soon. No waifu, no lifu. Nitsaira, Nick Harvey. Misaka does not dream of Bunny Girl Shaun, says Misaka, while curiously unable to look anyone directly in the eye. Mekeika Seven Hierto, Mexican Gone Freaks. Levi Bowles, Let's Eiffel Tower, Brennan's grandma, hell yeah. Leave Denji and Pacino out of harm's way, Shaun. Keegan Talbot, Cassidy, Karma Chaos, Juan Haritos, Josh DePanier, Janine, Jam Hands. I've had nightmares like this, says Misaka. It's Shaun, not Sean or Sean.
Let me guess, they spelled it different.
Yeah, but they did do the correct way, clarifying. If Shaun chose Rem AOT, it's time to start the patron association for the rights of Remington Chase, declares Misaka. I agree. I'm not saying I hate Rem for Angel Beats. All I'm saying is if we watch a few more episodes of Conception, I'd be happy.
Jesus.
I want Rem to ruin Darling in the Franks for me. I want Rem to ruin this Misaka character for me, says Misaka as she listens to the Patreon reads. I saw Mommy kissing Santa Claus for April Fools. I said Rosario was good, so my friends recommended this pod. Now I'm broken and ashamed. I, Remington, am simply one in an infinitesimal amount of creations in the universe from the imagination of a high school girl. I moved to remove Shaun as president of the Turtle Club due to excessive MILF hunting at work. It's true. He needs to learn how to find balance. I don't know what to put here. Hunter Davies. Hey, Shaun, are you an angel? Because I want to give you a beating. Hey, Remington is touched by an angel, an anime. Hey, do the one with the prison and the school. Hanakawa, Hachiroku, Glenn Michael Dolan, Fern the Guy Man or something. Farmer Weeb wants everybody to know Daki Marchakura is coming.
What? Oh no. I don't want to know. No, guys, I don't need any more. I'm good. I'm good here.
He's being shy. He never has enough. Fantide, Dylan Hayden, Duck, drink angel milk to prevent wobbly bones, not a conspiracy. Does listening to Remington rip my favorite anime and enjoying it make me a masochist? Daddy Rem, tell me a bedtime story. Cubics Robots for Everybody is my favorite anime. Creed 13, Cheese Monkey, Brockhart for Geodudes, Bree Loves Cheese, Black Star, Big Blue Bear Boy. Bad anime idea, teachers are all normally dressed and the student nudity is never mentioned or addressed. Angle Angel, Ender Sinclair, and the angel Michael said to the farmer, fuck your wallet, I love those goddamn birds. Elise Howard, Alpha Angel, AJ Tunnels breaking knees with these steezy beats, please hold the meat. AJ Honey, after we watch Angel Beats, Shaun and I are going MILF hunting. A days, according to Spotify, I've listened to 5,610 minutes this year alone. Y'all keep it up. Can we get a Geen Tom episode soon? Aaron Heckland, and now we go to the Boy Wizard tier where you get the task you avoided by writing a Patreon name. Chris, you get planning your fiance's B-day. And for the Boy Wizard tier, everybody is going to get a tennis player. Zachary Shirley is back, baby. You get Carlos Alcaraz. William Harris, you get Rafael Nadal. Warning, you're 799 episodes away. You get Casper Ruud. Vincent Calabrese, you get Stefanos Sipsap. It's a weird name. It's Greek. The Fitness Grand Pacer Test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. Student You get Novak Djokovic. Shane Ware would like to request that Rem be shown a picture of the Dango Dakazoku from Clannad. You get Felix Auger Aliazim. Shaun, how much of a quote donation unquote do you need to show Rem code GIOS season 1? Sarah Brunowski. Oh wait, no. You get Daniil Medvedev. Sarah Brunowski.
None of these players are awful people. I hope that all of them are nice, lovely.
I don't know. Who knows? If you get an awful person, good luck. We scheduled meet and greets for all of you, so who knows? Sarah Brunowski, you get Andrei Rublev. Roskop, you get Taylor Fritz. Robert Atchison, you get Hubert Hercax. Princess Kenny is my waifu. You get Holger Rune. Mafroate, my dog, you get Alexander Zverev. MILFs coming to Shaun near Rem warning child support payments are mandatory after 2 visits. You get Pablo Carreno Busta. Mike Guy's Overlord review, you get Cameron Nori. Miguel DeLeon, you get Janik Sinner. Massimo Martelli, you're going to get Matteo Bertini. Latino stopped eating, waiting for Remington to get beaten by angels. You are going to get Marin Silic. Jack Wagon says Cheese Sweet Home, or Shy Sweet Home, not quite sure. You get Denis Shapovalov. That's a great name, Shapovalov.
That is a
pleasant
good
to
name.
say.
I really hope he's not a bad person.
It should have been the other Nakano. You get Francis Tiafoe. I, Shaun, am secretly doing the dirty deed with Dylan behind Rem's back. I know. It's not behind my back. No. I'm aware. You get Karen Kachanov. Inuyasha's my favorite cryptid has gone through a magical girl transformation into cryptid MILF. Oh, how dangerous. So Shaun will be a cryptid hunter as well.
I don't need more jobs.
You get Roberto Batista Agat. If you don't watch Healer Girl and Angel beats a penguin up, also I Rem him still girl, you get Nick Kyrgios. I'm Rem, say that Shaun's grandma's an angel in bed, I can't hold it back anymore. You get Lorenzo Musetti. I'm expecting a good one with this. Tonight, get ready, because you know it's time to ride for Psycho, round and round we go. You get Alex de Minar. I should fuck my non-existent sister, change my mind, you're already too far gone. You get Diego Schwartzman. Hellorex. You get Borna Koric. Go ahead, call the cops, it won't silence the voices, they're getting louder, please send help. You get Daniel Evans. Darth Pikachu wants a Nyankoi review. You get Gregor Dimitrov. Crimson Reapers, just because of the sides. You get Miamor Kekmanovic. Carver 271, you are going to get Francisco Corindulo. Brian Audit, you get Alejandro Davidovich Fokina. Beethoven 1201, you get Tommy Paul. Because of my poor reputation for the 12 days of Christmas, I Rem ask Shaun to show me redo of Healer. I don't know about that.
Never happening.
You get Sebastian Corda. Arid Angel, you get Maxime Cressy. Animated Z, you get Bodek Vanda Zenschlup. All Father's Countdown continues with only 40 weeks left. You get Yoshihiro Nishioka. A boy who will save everyone, even if they are not a good person or even alive, even if this costs him his life, time to do it. You get Alexander Bublik. And now we go, finally, to the inappropriate Joey Wheeler tier, where this week, very simply, Shaun is going to give you tips as Joey Wheeler on how to improve your form. In however, maybe it's your tennis form, maybe it's your form doing something else. Who knows? We'll see. We start Raftalia's My Anime Waifu has returned.
Crap, what do I Googled? How to improve form.
No, Shaun, this advice needs to come from you.
From me? I am... okay, alright, I'll, when holding a knife, be sure to choke up on it so that you don't, you have more control over it. Don't hold it at the very end of the handle. There you go.
Then we go to Magic Ice Ball.
Okay, let's see. Man, I don't know much advice. Right, if you're... Okay, Joey Wheeler. Hey, Yugs. When playing Dead by Daylight...
Yeah, what should their form be when playing Dead by Daylight?
Sit up straight and be sure to have water, because otherwise you're gonna get very dehydrated from all the salt you're consuming.
Next up, we got Hermione Pegs, Harry and Ron.
Alright, let's see. When you are using a knife...
Oh, back to the knife. Alright, cool.
Look, I don't have much expertise on many
Knives
things.
and Dead by Daylight, those are the two things.
For right now, yeah. curl the fingers of the hand not holding the knife and kind of rest them against the flat of the blade when you're cutting so you don't cut your fingers.
Next
Very
up,
important.
we got my dear old mum.
When you're skiing, you want to always make sure that you're leaning uphill. That way, you don't accidentally go slipping and sliding down.
Next up, we got Bus Chan, friend of Samantha, destroyer of squirrels, haven for the footsore, member of Team Shaunington.
When lifting weights, make sure that your wrists are curled inwards and not like fully extended outwards. You can really hurt yourself otherwise.
Next up, we got Blood Cell. I will never be bullied into showing Rem another anime again. Quoth the Rollins. Nah.
Right. Let's see. To improve your form when, man, okay. Let's go with
Any activity.
any activity, but I don't do activities.
It doesn't need to be good advice.
I know, but now I feel like I'm on the spot to give good advice. Okay, if we want to improve your form when whittling wood, make sure you do a bit of a blood circle before you start cutting, because one slip and you might do a bit of a stab of your friend.
Hell yeah.
Also whittle away from you. Don't whittle towards yourself, you dumbass.
Finally, we got Blake.
And Blake, okay, when you are sitting at the computer to massively improve your form, make sure that your arms aren't resting on the keyboard. Make sure they're kind of raised a little bit and you can type a little bit faster and a little bit more cleanly without putting so much effort on your wrists in particular.
All right, thank you all. If you want to reach out, whether it's for a comment, question, etc., animeoutofcontext at Gmail, at AnimeConPod on Twitter. There you go.
Once again, guys, thank you all so much for tuning in. We love and appreciate you all very much. And as always, don't fuck your sister.
Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. I'm not really feeling horny. I just see a bulge.
MILF needs to have a bit of thickness to it. That's all I'm saying.
So the horny, it's not the cupcake, but it is the sprinkles. We have horny sprinkles on our cupcake. Shaun, you're fucking up the whole routine.
Okay, now I'm recording and now it's in mono. Hopefully this makes Dylan happy. Alright, let's get started then in 3, 2, 1, mark. Oh god, I just had a massive something come up right when I was about to start, and that would have been
3, 2,
a bad...
1, mark, and then you just throw up everywhere. That's how you open part 2. Just by vomiting. I was the one watching the anime, but I guess that's your review. God damn. Pretty intense.
Let me try that one more time. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, mark.